Welcome, Earthly Souls, to my channel, Earthly Soul Tarot. My name is Daniel, for those of you who are new here. If you're not new, welcome back. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me again. Let's jump in and see what your energy is saying. Let's see what's going on around you. What are you feeling? What are you thinking? What are you going through right now? I feel like there's a very specific message that we're going to be getting today. I don't know why. Sometimes I can just tell when a reading's going to be for a very select amount of people rather than the entire collective. So I guess we'll still call it a collective reading. So again, if you feel inclined to stay, then stay. Let's go ahead and see what comes out. The Empress is coming up, so could be speaking to an earth sign right now. So maybe if you're an earth sign, even more of a reason to keep watching. Okay. The Empress, there's something here that's giving you a lot of, that's elevating you, that's bringing you a lot of stability. Okay, it's bringing you a lot of security. A lot of you could have resolved a certain problem or issue that was kind of going round and round in your energy and making you go back and forth on something, and you found, like, I'm hearing like the perfect balance, like the perfect middle ground. Okay, so you could have had maybe some conflict with someone, and you finally, came to an agreement with somebody here. If it's not having to do with the person, it just could be a decision that you've been kind of like on and off on. But I do see you being in the energy of the Empress now, where you've reached the point where you feel secure enough to say, okay, this is my decision, or okay, this is what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? So that feels pretty secure. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? Just one, Spirit. Spirit just threw like 5 cards. 5 cards. These cards are very active tonight, you guys. Okay. The Ten of Pentacles. Wow. Okay. Talk about financial blessings. Okay. This could be a financial reading. If we're getting the Empress and the Ten of Pentacles, I definitely do feel like that's significant. Okay. This situation or this conflict could have been within your career, within your job. Literally could be with people, or this could be something where you have just figured out what it is that you actually want to do as a career or with your life in general. I feel like a lot of you have also realized where your priorities lie, and because of that, there's a lot of changes happening in your energy. You're getting rid of things. You're changing. You're pivoting in some way. Okay. And I know it's very vague. We need to get more detailed messages come through, but we'll see. We'll see about that. Oh my gosh, the cards are falling everywhere. So the Strength card is coming up, and let me grab the card that just fell. And the Hierophant as well. You're getting a lot of Major Arcana cards. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is crazy. Your energy is very, very strong right now. Very strong. I mean, you're getting the Strength card. Yeah, there's something here, again, like knowing what it comes down to. It's like you're digging in and you're really like tugging at roots here, but you're not pulling them out. You're just like getting a feel of them. You're trying to figure out where those roots even started growing. I'm kind of seeing, like, I don't know why, this is so weird. I'm seeing like a little bug, like all the way at the bottom of the ground. They found like the end of a root, and they're trying to climb up the root and see, like, oh, where did this root come from? Like, what plant is this? What plant am I even walking on or feeding from? You know what I mean? I know that's so specific, but that's the energy that I'm getting. You could also be very in tune with plants and animals. Maybe you're someone that keeps like insects. I don't know. But there's something here where you're like trying to figure out where you come from, or where and this could be in a literal sense, like maybe you're doing like DNA tests, maybe, you don't know where you came from, or you don't know like maybe who your parents are, you're trying to figure that out. Or this could be a more spiritual thing, you know what I mean? You're trying to figure out the deepest, darkest questions and answers of the world, of the universe. Okay, so a lot of you could be feeling very inclined towards a like really spiritual path right now, which I think is beautiful, because there's a lot of things in your physical, like earthly life that has kind of led you here. Okay, you're starting to notice that. You're starting to notice that there's been like a pattern. I really hope this reading is making sense. Like I said, I think it's going to be a very specific reading. the Seven of Wands is coming up. And the Seven of Wands, as we all know, is all about figuring out who the freak we are, okay? It's about standing up for ourselves. It's about showing up as we are and not accepting anything less than that, okay? I'm kind of seeing this as like a defense against yourself, to be honest. It's like your authentic self is coming out and saying, you know what? This is who I am, okay? We're not going to disagree on that. And that's probably what this whole little conflict or disagreement was. Maybe it wasn't something literal. I think this was something very spiritual and honestly probably only has to do with you, yourself, and you, okay? So yeah, I mean, buckle up. This reading is going to be crazy. The Seven of Wands. This is a very beautiful energy though, because yes, it comes from a place of feeling like you've been kind of like ignored and neglected. You know, when you feel like you have to, when you've gotten to the point where you feel like you have to stand up for yourself, it's most likely because we haven't been being treated well, right? Because people maybe have been taking advantage of us and we've been quiet for too long. And so now we have to put ourselves in the energy of the Seven of Wands, where you're a little bit more defensive and a little bit more, you know, assertive. So it's kind of like it came from somewhere kind of negative, but it's something really positive. It's a good energy to be in, where you're assertive and you're more, you know, dominant and maybe a little bit more defensive in a healthy way. Sorry, my loves, I was interrupted for a little bit there. But yeah, let's move on from that Seven of Wands energy. So you're figuring out something really, really true about yourself, okay? You're figuring out what it is you want to prioritize and what you don't. You're probably going through a lot of, you know, obviously these are spiritual changes, but you're going through a lot of physical changes as well. You could be thinking all of a sudden you want to change completely your career or maybe your environment, or something about your style choices are changing. You know, things like that. Usually once we start changing inside, it starts reflecting on our physical bodies and our physical realities. Is there anything else that the collective needs to know? In fact, this is the energy you're in. So let's see what it is that you need to know right now about this energy. Spirit, what does the collective need to know about this? The Four of Swords. Okay, so I do feel like your spirit guides want you to, you know, be sure that you're also getting enough rest at this moment. And again, not trying to go too fast. I feel like a lot of you could, you know, possibly be someone that tends to rush things, okay? Yeah. And earlier I was doing a reading, okay, for a different collective, but I do feel like this message kind of applies here too, and I'm gonna say it. Oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart. Wow, it completely wiped my mind. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. It's not meant for you. Okay, what is going on? The Two of Cups and the Queen of Cups just flew out after I said that. The Two of Cups and the Queen of Cups. And they flew out as soon as I said it's not made for you or it's not meant for you. That's odd. Some of you could be in a relationship that is, maybe you're outgrowing it. Maybe it's not for you anymore. Like I said, things tend to change when we spiritually change. You know, our physical reality reflects those changes. So some of you might, you know, might be ending a relationship very soon or going through some type of breakup. But that's just for some of you. I feel like that is a very specific message that came up. The Nine of Swords is coming up here as well. So yeah, I do feel like this could symbolize a breakup for sure. Okay, a breakup happening. Again, it's gonna cause a whole other journey in itself, I feel. But I, for some reason, feel like that's a whole other sidetrack, because I don't feel like it's for all of you for sure. I mean, not all of this will be for all of you, but you know what I mean. But yeah, let's move on from that energy, Spirit. I don't want to focus too much on that. All right, what can we ask your guides? Because I feel like I'm at a crossroads, you guys. I don't know. A lot of you guys could be feeling that too. You're like at a crossroads. Spirit, where should we go? Oh my God, the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups. I mean, the Ace of Cups does represent new love, you guys. So I don't know. It's funny because like some of you could possibly be being led to like a breakup. Some of you could be led toward a new relationship. So it could really go either way, which is why I feel like that's why I was saying it's not for all of you. But For some of you, you could be finding love very soon. The Ace of Cups isn't always new love either. It could be just new things in general, like a new... This is spiritual, okay? The Cups is very spiritual. It's very emotional. It's very like what's hidden. You know what I mean? And so there's something about your emotional fulfillment that it's just going to be overflowing. There's something that's going to really overflow your cup, which I think is beautiful. Again, this is so beautiful. I do feel like a lot of you are going through a very major spiritual transformation very soon, and I love it for you. The Emperor's coming up, and we started this reading with the Empress. I'm telling you, this is not just a spiritual transformation. It's also going to transform your life, your physical reality. So, of course, expect new things to come into your life. New people, new love, new careers, new environments, okay? And yes, sometimes it might be a little bit difficult when these changes start to arrive because, oh, I have to let go of my old life, right? Like, that's never easy. But just trust, okay? This reading serves as confirmation for you that when those things start happening and those uncomfortable, like, mid points start coming up, you're on the right track, okay? Just keep going. You will get to calmer waters, I promise you, okay? King of Pentacles. It was lying on the table for like the longest time. I just flipped it over. Thank you, Spirit. This is stability, okay? Things will eventually become stable again, okay? They kind of got to get shaken up before the dust settles in, all right? Let's get one more message. I don't want to make this reading too long tonight. I am quite tired. I got to go to bed, but I was like, I feel like I need to do a message before I go. Spirit, can we get one last message for the collective, please? For anybody that needs to know this, what is one last message for the higher good of the collective? Hold on, it fell. The Nine of Cups. Can't make this up. And I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of emotional fulfillment coming your way. Okay, there's a lot of independence coming your way too. I feel like a lot of you are going to become a lot more, like I said, the Seven of Wands energy, a lot more self-assured, which is such a good energy to be in, especially for you, because I feel like that's something that you could have struggled with for a very long time. I'm telling you, for a long time. So it's a massive shift in your energy. You're going to have a glow up, literally. I think people are literally even going to be able to see this before their eyes. And it's not something that they'll be able to really explain, but they'll see it. They'll feel it. They'll experience it for sure, okay? So, I'm hearing like they're lucky to be able to experience you in this next chapter of your existence here on earth, because it's such a beautiful energy, okay? It's such a beautiful energy. I'm seeing a very, very light energy about you, my loves. But yeah, my loves, just keep going, okay? When you get to the uncomfortable parts where you feel like you can't rest, just know that things will settle down very soon. You're just going through a transformative period, okay, in your life. But you're very backed up, okay? You're very backed up, and consistency is key, okay? Keep that in mind, my loves. Anyway, I'm going to leave the reading at that. I hope you have a great day or great night whenever it is that you're watching this. I'm going to take my butt to bed. I'm so tired. I'll see you guys on the next reading, okay? I love you so much. Goodbye.